watching Fox Local.
Battleground Arizona, 5 days until the election here in our state. And of course, lots of political campaigns are really moving across Arizona on this Halloween. We have team coverage for you this morning.
Yeah, Danielle Miller is live in Glendale with more on the event featuring former President Donald Trump at Desert Diamond Arena tonight. But we begin with Dominique Newland live in Phoenix, where a rally for Vice President Kamala Harris is set to get underway in a matter of hours. Good morning, Dominique.
Good morning, guys. You know, details on the vice president's visit still limited to the public, but you should be able to see behind me supporters already lining up here at Talking Zick Resort Amphitheater this morning. And you can see quite a few of them have started to trickle in this morning, and it is chilly out there, so they're braving the cold to see the vice president a little bit later on this morning. But we do know, as far as details, her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, is expected to be joining her today. And what's interesting is this would be the first time they have campaigned together in the Valley since they came here shortly after he was announced as her VP pick just ahead of the Democratic National Convention. The When We Fight, We Win rally will also feature a performance by popular Mexican music act Los Tigres del Norte. The Harris and Trump campaigns have been extremely active in the swing states in the closing weeks of this election, especially here in Arizona, where we have seen quite a few stops, not only by the presidential and vice presidential candidates, but by family members and high-profile surrogates. And yesterday alone, Harris visited 3 states, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin.
We will enact the first ever federal ban on corporate price gouging on groceries. We will fight to make sure hardworking Americans can actually afford a place to live.
Now, Harris is also expected to hold a rally in Nevada today, which will include remarks from singer and actress Jennifer Lopez and a performance by Mana. And as Harris and Trump crisscross battleground states ahead of Tuesday's election, they also could be crossing paths here in Arizona, with the former president expected to speak in the West Valley a little bit later on today. So I'm going to toss things over to Danielle Miller, who has the details about Trump's whereabouts today. Good morning, Danielle.
Yeah, good morning, and good morning from Glendale, Arizona. We're here outside the Desert Diamond Arena, and this is exactly where this event is being held later on this evening here. The former president, Donald Trump, he's going to be on stage with the conservative commentator Tucker Carlson. This is the final leg of Tucker Carlson's live tour, and he will be on stage here in front of the audience here at Desert Diamond Arena. So Carlson has been hosting a series of live events, but it's the first time the former president has appeared with him. The event will start at 6 p.m. tonight. People are being told to be there by 3 p.m. because of security. There's still tickets available starting at $20, and all of the profits are going to relief for the victims of Hurricanes Helene and Milton. The former president was in North Carolina yesterday to his rally supporters ahead of the election day.
And I will bring back a thing called the American dream. Isn't that nice? Because we haven't had that. We haven't had that in a long time. Our country will be bigger, better, bolder, richer, safer, and stronger than ever before.
If that's okay. And after making several stops in Arizona this month alone, it's not known if the former president will be making any more visits to Arizona before big election day here on Tuesday. As we know, this is going to be a major event, thousands of people showing up here. And on top of that, there is Halloween. So expect heavy delays in traffic here within the Glendale area, especially on the freeways as well. Officer Mendez with us this morning from the Glendale Police Department. This is something you guys are very used to here in Glendale in terms of large events.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. With the passage of time, we've been getting ready for these type of things, right? We have all the experience, all these mega events that we prepare for, that we work, and that we're proud to keep the public and the community safe.
And what should people know? I know there's a few kind of housing developments down there, trick-or-treaters possibly, a lot heavier foot traffic, I'm assuming, in this area.
Yeah, so you mentioned it yourself. You know, it's Halloween. There's going to be people in masks, people in costumes, people celebrating. Westgate, or this area, has a lot of entertainment to offer. So we're going to have the usual, maybe even more, visitors. Not to mention the mega event where we have personalities like former President Donald Trump, as well as Tucker Carlson. So we're going to have a lot of people, and we just want to make sure that everyone's safe. There's going to be closures. There's going to be restrictions, and we will be able to communicate that.
And in terms of people, a lot of people getting off work early today to go home to their trick-or-treaters, freeway closures, anything people need to be aware of that you would know of?
Not any major closures on the freeway. There's going to be some restrictions. We got Maryland right here just south of the arena. We've got Glendale Avenue to the north, 91st and 95th on either east or west. So just expect, delays, not to mention when these personalities are either coming and going, traffic's going to be at a standstill. So just prepare for that. Come early. Go around if you have to, reroute so that you can get to wherever you're going safely.
And a lot of security and police presence going to be in this area.
Yes. Our own department is going to provide security. We're going to have SWAT out here. We're going to have drones. We're going to have patrol officers. We're going to have our motorcycle officers. They're going to be, conducting traffic. So it's going to be a lot of police presence, making sure there's top-notch security, keeping everyone safe.
Officer Mendez, thank you so much for your time with us this morning. So yes, as he mentioned, get here early. They are mentioning to come at 3 p.m., even though the event starts at 6 p.m. tonight. And we know Westgate, all of the bars and restaurants as well. A lot of people coming here to celebrate Halloween. So a very busy area. If you're not coming here for the event or to any of the bars and restaurants, I would avoid it if you can.
Yeah, no kidding. That 101 is going to be wild.
Jam tonight.
Yeah.
Yep.
Danielle,
All right.
thank you.
Danielle, thank you. And as Arizona decides, Maricopa County voters, well, they're going to face the potential for some long lines at polling places and potentially some delayed election results.
But that is not all. Ron has more on the requirements a new law is putting on poll workers this morning. Hey, Ron.
Yeah, so that will require poll workers to do a hand count before then dropping off the ballots to be tallied. The new law was written by Republican Arizona State Representative Alex Kalodin. So it first requires poll workers to wait for the polls to close. Second, then at these individual polling places, they hand count all of the green envelope ballots that were dropped off because some people didn't get them in the mail in time and they drop them off day up. Third, they deliver them to the election center. And fourth, the signatures are verified and the votes are counted. So that means that poll workers could still be tabulating, especially at the election center, as the sun comes up on Wednesday morning. The representative says the expected delays are for a good reason.
So that we know where every ballot has been, where it's gone.
Kalodin also says it should take an hour or so for poll workers to count the dropped off green ballots at those individual polling locations. And then something else to keep in mind, if the election office finds some sort of an error on your ballot, you will have 5 days to fix it. So we will see how it goes, you guys, but we could possibly be headed toward another election where the country looks at Arizona and might have more questions about why it is taking us so long to do our counting. Other states, from Michigan to Wisconsin, these battleground states could be up to 95 to 98% by late election night or early the next morning. We'll see how it goes here.
All right, Ron, thank you.
Okay. It's time now, 7:10. Let's take a look at some other headlines on this Thursday morning. A driver crashed his car right into a family's pool at an apartment complex overnight.
So we have the video for you this morning, and you can see this vehicle fully submerged. The video, of course, a little dark, happened in the middle of the night, but there's a look at some of the fencing that was taken down, and the vehicle is actually right inside that pool, fully submerged in the water. 2 a.m. in Phoenix, 35th Avenue and Grand. Police say the driver was pulled out through the moonroof, up on top, the moonroof, and taken to a nearby hospital to be checked out, but was not seriously hurt. Police are still investigating and say it's unclear at this time if alcohol played a role in this crash. Developing in the Far East Valley, a teenager has been arrested and accused, sadly, of killing his mother.
Yeah, kind of a bizarre story. Investigators say he called 911 to report that she had been kidnapped to try and cover up this whole mess. The Pinal County Sheriff's deputies say the 18-year-old is now in the hospital with self-inflicted wounds, and he will be booked once he is released. The body of 38-year-old Mary Collier was found in a farm field near Gantzell Road and Skyline Drive. James Ritchie, a neighbor that lives nearby, says he discovered that woman's body while he was on a morning jog.
It was bloody. I think I saw a couple punctured wounds possibly on her shoulders and stuff. Again, I didn't get too close because as soon as I saw the knife, I knew it was a crime scene.
Right now, investigators say the motive is unknown, but there was an argument, they say, 2 nights ago, but the attack happened sometime yesterday morning. The suspect's name has not yet been released. We have new details on the man accused of setting 3 separate fires at the DNC office in Tempe.
Well, he has now been indicted on terrorism charges. The Maricopa County Attorney's Office says Jeffrey Kelly also indicted for unlawful discharge of a firearm and criminal damage. Investigators say 60 years old is connected now to 3 separate shooting incidents at the DNC office near Priest and Southern. The attorney's office noting he fired more than 20 times total. Kelly is now in custody. Bond has been set at $500,000.
We also have an update for you this morning about that fire that was intentionally set inside of a GCU dorm building. We're learning that student, 19-year-old Jacob Jarvis, now faces multiple arson charges. Court document says Jarvis claims he suffers from Asperger's syndrome and was off his meds. A total of 6 suites were damaged in that fire, forcing 12 students to move into other dorms.
A new investigation underway after a fire damages 2 homes in the West Valley. It was near Central and Western Avenues in Avondale. Crews arrived. They found one house on fire with flames spreading to a second home. 3 people, they got out of that house safely. The second home, crews were able to put out the flames, and the first one was badly burned. Fortunately, no one was living there in that second house, and it only has some minor damage. Well, now a year has passed since a homeless encampment known as the Zone in downtown Phoenix began to clean up.
Our drone pilots now capturing images of what it looked like before and what it looks like now. It's taken some time for businesses in the area to get back on their feet after that encampment. Streets now less crammed. Businesses like Gallery 119 are seeing more customers walk through their doors. The gallery is actually really busy getting ready for a show on First Friday. Meanwhile, Sub Shop says it's back to seeing long lines out its doors for lunch.
Have a lot of return customers that had been coming here since the 80s, and now they're coming back because they feel like they can park their car and they can walk in and feel safe.
And in just a few days, Arizona voters will decide on Prop 312. That's the prop which allows property owners to apply for a property tax refund if the city does not enforce illegal camping laws.